Today's workout is inspired by the Olympia in honor of the great backs and the really, really bad backs. There's no in between. It's either there's great backs or fucking horrible backs, right? So it's like, gotta get people out of this mentality of like working on only upper back all the time and thinking that if I get my upper back bigger, that means my back's better, but you still like missing massive pieces of a back, right? It's also about like teaching people how to like structure a workout or envision a workout with like your back and how it moves. So we'll start the workout with like kind of some rowing motions and then a one arm pull over here, just to kind of get the back to open up like off the spine. So I want to pull wide on things and have the middle of the back open, and then everything pull out wide and squeeze it back, right? So just trying to thinking like that when you train will help you connect better with your back, because you understand how you're pulling, what areas you're working, and then when certain areas loosen up, other areas become easier to feel, right? I've never done this lat pull down, but this is like similar to, we have this up here. This is a different handle up here. So I've talked about this before, but it's basically, I want to have my chest on this pad, all my weight digging, like I want to think that I'm mushing this pad down to the metal. That's how much weight I'm putting on the pad. I'm not just trying to like be on it. I'm trying to use it to posture myself up to set into my back. So I'm not here with head down and shoulders up and pulling up into here, because that's where everybody's strong in bodybuilding. You'll never see a guy who needs more upper back, ever, because they all have it, because they all pull in odd ways and on odd lines where they're strong, right? So the idea is to like set up and set those shoulders and elbows down so that I'm leaning all my weight on here. I can literally take my feet off and I'm literally driving myself through to pull. So I'm opening my mid back and I'm snapping elbow down and driving up through things. So I'm exploding towards the mirror up through. So I don't get to the point where I do this and I pull like this, or I sit up really straight and I pull to me because I have no range. I'm moving from a straight arm almost completely locked out to firing, pulling. So that'll open like your mid back around, like if your spine is here, it's gonna pull around and close back in, around, close back in. So get those lats opening off the body, right? So we do the same thing here. We catch on lat when we sit. I've never used this before, but you create a lean back so we're on lat already. So I'm not gonna be here, going here. Here's upper back traps. Where see, I'm gonna shut those down and I'm gonna be almost supinated, and I'm gonna drive up through on my lat. So I'm sinking shoulder and driving hand up through. So I can feel my hand pull right into my lat. Because a lot of people make the mistake, they think that they think that your hand leads your lat, and everybody tells you this. Your hand, this is extended as your lat can be. That's wrong. This is extended as my lat can be. My elbow position determines my lat openness, not my reach. Yes, I'm open here, but I'm on lat here when my elbow's in front of my body. So my lat goes forward, I pull my lat down in. I'm swinging my elbow. It's not about swinging your hand, right? Everyone makes that mistake. I don't know why they think that your hand is what it is, right? So here we'll just focus on, we're gonna really shorten the motion. So we're gonna hook on our grip here and put all our weight on our forearm. So I'm sitting back, I'm gonna tuck shoulder in, so I'm on lat, and move. I don't ever come off lat. I'm just rocking up through. So I don't ever go here and then go pull to me. We'll just bang up through. So as soon as I pull, I'm moving towards that mirror. I'm launching forward, not up. So the key is to lock shoulder into body, elbow in, so lat tucks in a bit. It's not open wide, it's just forward and in. So I'm pushing down with my hand, and I'm pulling up with my hand, so my elbow breaks right away. I drive up through things. Let my lat go. If you die anywhere, die here. Let yourself relax, drive. A lot of guys they get a rep halfway up, and then they try to muscle it more, right? Thinking that that's gonna be what gets your back. You're so far off your back at that point that there's literally no point in doing a rep. It's like everybody who's a bodybuilder and anyone who's like a figure athlete or has to maintain a front relaxed pose, you all basically know where your lat is, because you have to do that. You have to find your lat to do your pose, right? So obviously it's not this, what some people do with these like wing arms, but you know when your lat's open, because I can feel my back rounded a bit and my chest is a little caved. I'm not here. I'm like that, right? So this same positioning as your front relaxed is the same width you should pull. Why would you want to make your back narrower to pull into you and create this like tipping forward feeling when it's just your shoulder retracting and your chest lifting? If I don't have my elbow open a bit and my lat open, I can't lift my chest this high. If I pull narrow and I try and lift my chest, this happens. So I get stuck. And then I try and pull. And I pull here and I pull and I let go. Whereas it's like, if I'm rolling shoulders back and pulling on my lat that's open, I'm up through things, right? So you might have to lower the weight for that, as terrifying as that might be. And just to be able to like get the motion of your back, right? But if you're hitting more of your back and you're engaging more muscle, the better your back's gonna be. So I don't understand what this obsession with weight is. Like, the weight will go up incrementally because you're gonna get stronger in any action you perform. It's gonna take more resistance, right? But just to arbitrarily like, oh, I load 4 plates on here and I fucking lean back and I can pull it. Well, you won the pulling competition, but you didn't win the Olympia. You know what I mean? So big guys who do this, it's even better for the guys who have massive shoulders and have a hard time hitting their lower lat and their erectors and things like that. If you create this angle already, that means you can't get shoulder involved unless you flatten out. So I'm already negating my shoulder movement and I'm keeping my body weight back a bit, so I'm driving through. So I can rock forward a bit, my hands take me up, and I drop down. So my shoulders don't go here, they're always down, and I pull. And I drive my chest up through the bar while arching, right? A lot of guys who watch Jay Cutler, Jay's got a very like rapid fire style. He moves very quickly. But that angle I just did there, if you watch him do a cable pull down, he's dead on his lat. He may be rocking a lot, but he knows exactly where his lat is and he's moving on it. He's not wasting any motion. So that momentum is enough for him to initiate the pull, and he's squeezing into lat, letting out. Because he knows the distance from here to here is nothing, it's shoulder drop. And this distance all the way down, when we get the weight down to here, is lat. So this is like no man's land in here. This is the space we take to drop when we reach up to drop shoulder. So I'm here and I'm dropping shoulder. I'm getting that momentum and then squeezing down. But if I never drop the shoulder, I can't get to here in arch position. I'll be here. Because I can't, once I break here and try and lift my chest, I can't. I have to roll my shoulder back first and drive up and hyper arch, right? So it's the same idea here. We start with a double arm here to engage the lat from low. So guys who sit here, and you'll see these guys all the fucking time on the internet. It's like I want to get my elbow as tight as I can to me, and I want to squeeze into here. And yes, you'll get lat. But the more that you squeeze down, I don't get contraction till here. And I get contraction on an unstretched lat. So yeah, my lat goes forward, but it's tucked into my body. And then I squeeze down into it and lift myself up. But most guys end up crunching into it to hold that contraction because they think the contraction is the same as a bicep contraction, where I want to flex and then let out. But even your bicep, you don't curl stuff like this and let it out, right? Or let it out and then go. It's like a fluid motion of staying on your bicep. But it's the same with backs. I don't understand why people slow down the movement or over tense the movement. Maybe it's just to make that connection. But once you have the connection, you should be able to create less tension in your shoulder. So I don't want to be here. I want to set my shoulder down and I want to drag in. And naturally my hand will roll. It's not natural to pull in a line like this into your back. I'm already leaning forward. So if I start here and I end up supinating a bit, that allows my shoulder to retract and my chest to lift. If I'm here, it's just, I can only get so far, right? So if I start there by driving up to the ceiling, dropping shoulder, I'm getting way more lat than I'm getting here. And just like squeezing here. You can see your lat moving here, grabbing in. I can see my lat go, pull down, right? So we're doing that with both. The idea is to keep your butt back and keep yourself lean forward to start till this relaxes. Till you can set your shoulders into your chest here, with your chest up and your back squeezed tight, and then I'm flexing down in. So I'm letting hands go and I'm keeping my weight back. So it's gonna pop me forward a bit, I drive. So I roll those shoulders back and slide those hands deeper into my back. And this obsession with like death gripping the fuck out of something, like I'm death gripping this thing and squeezing it with my hand. If you look at guys who are good with back or understand back, their grip's like this a lot of the time. So I have more range in my grip. If I'm here, I'm locked down, right? I'm thinking about my hand. So I can arch and I can squeeze it here, yeah, but if I relax here and let my hook take it, I can drive it through more. I have more, my wrist is able to articulate more, I'm able to move more than if I'm tight, right? It's not about keeping it on a fucking rigid line, it's allowing the body to move, right? This is just like a variation of we've done like sitting on the bench and spreading the rope. A lot of people have been doing, lowering the line and pulling this way. So this coming up through things. If you guys don't like that, and you have one of these in your gym, which a lot of gyms do, you can do the same thing here, except just keep hip back, so you even have more range, and pop chest up and slide. So I'm driving up through. So I'm trying to spread this, see how it goes narrow? I'm trying to spread this beside me. But to do that, I have to break my elbow first. So my elbow pulls. I drive hands down, up through, squeeze into back. Because my hip is so far back, as soon as I go to stand up in an arch, my back grabs, without even this in my hand, right? So we're engaging, squeezing, lifting up, squeezing, right? It's not a movement of like the rope pulling me back and forth. I'm trying to engage and then flex.